Yo, so I'm back at it with another episode of Answering Questions, all right? This time, it's from my man Chris in Chicago. Chris, I appreciate you reaching out to me. Chris hit me up in the email, and pretty long email, but I'm going to sum it up for you guys. So Chris goes into his story about, where he's been, but Chris's question was, he asked if he should go to 2 or 3 tryouts when trying out for the G League because he wanted to give another chance. So he said, should I go to 2 or 3 tryouts and see if I can get an invite to training camp, or just attend one and, try to get in that way? And his second question was that he's been looking for an agent, but there are a ton of scammers online, and I was wondering what you think would be the best way to find a credible agent. I'll start off with the first question. Yes, definitely, Chris. Try 2 or 3 tryouts if you can. Now, for those who don't know my story, last year I was invited to G League training camp after performing well in the open tryout. I was invited there with my good friend Jamel Morris. When I did it last year, prior to going to the Grand Rapids Drive tryout, I actually tried out for 3 teams, or 3 open tryouts. Went to the Texas Legends one because I supposedly had somebody who had a inside connection with one of the coaches, but it turns out the coach wasn't there for the open tryout. So anyway, attended that one, did pretty well. Like I said, with those G League processes, it's very hard to show your game in a certain amount of time. So did okay there. They picked the top 20 at the end of the tryout to basically get a focus on 20 players. And I didn't make that cut. I didn't make the top 20 in that one. So that was pretty discouraging. Then I went to Fort Wayne. And when I went to Fort Wayne, did pretty well in that one. Didn't get a call back. So I was like, you know what? Kind of was giving up on the open tryout thing. Then I went to my third one, which was the Grand Rapids Drive. And really was just, after I did 2, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out here and play and just do what I have to do. And by that third one, I ended up getting a call back. But so I say all that to say, you definitely, if you really want to try and make the team, I definitely think that you should try it more than one. You don't know what type of coaches like your game. One coach could not recognize what you're capable of, or another coach can see your potential. So you don't want to just try one tryout if you're really going to commit to going to tryouts, because you never know what a coach is looking for, and you might just be that thing. For you, Chris, I think you're asking the wrong question. The question shouldn't be how I should find a credible agent. I think the question that best fits you is, how can I get in contact with overseas coaches? Because, just being honest with you, I played the game 3 years, and if an agent is not contacting you, or if you don't have a big resume, then many agents won't pick you up. And if they do pick you up, then they're not going to work for you, because agents work the hardest for players who have some type of resume, credibility, went Division I, big D2 player, big D3, etc., who have some accolades. And not saying that you're not a good player, it's just the fact that because you went the JUCO route and didn't really, I'm not sure what accolades you got, but if you really didn't get a lot of accolades, an agent can't help you really, other than contract negotiation. Many agents won't take you on. So even me, like, I had some accolades in college and things like that, but at the same time, it was still hard for agents to find me jobs places. So honestly, you in my opinion, I think you should cut out the middleman of having an agent just to start with, just until you get your foot in the door. And I think that you should work for yourself. Find ways to get in contact with these coaches. One way is you have to find coaches' names for teams. Look up certain leagues, find a coaches' names and interact with them on Facebook. Find a coach on Facebook. I do that a lot. That's what I do most of the time. And when contacting the coaches, I look them up on Facebook, hit them up directly rather than through an agent. And sometimes coaches may like what you send to them. And when you send stuff to coaches, just don't send them a highlight tape. Make sure you have a resume, a basketball resume. Make sure you have highlights. Make sure you have full game film of your best game, etc., etc. Because like I said about the G League thing, you don't know what coaches are looking for, and you just might be that. So I would say right now, until you gain some credibility, don't go searching for an agent. There's no point in searching for an agent, because you'll get an agent. Say you do get an agent, and then you still waiting. Now, to answer the question anyway, the first way I would suggest going to find an agent would be through networking and through connections you have. If your old college coaches, I know a lot of college coaches who have connections with maybe agents and contacts overseas sometime. You know, a lot of college coaches have gotten guys deals. You have a college coach, ask them, hey, do you know any agents? Have you heard of any agents? And sometimes a college coach can help you out, and they'll vouch the best for you because they know your game the best. Another way, if you have friends or people that you know of that play overseas, then ask them for contacts, ways to find agents. Because the best way to get your foot in the door is to talk to people that already have their foot in the door. So if you want to go overseas, already talk to guys who've already went overseas. Another way to find a credible agent would be to go to a camp. Now, I've said this in previous videos, but I think sometimes camps can be good for players who don't have that many accolades. Well, you can go to one of these camps where other good players are present and you show them out. Then this attracts attention from agents. Also, some overseas teams will contact you directly if you're a great player and you do well at a camp. So that's the second way I would suggest finding a credible agent, is go to these camps. When you go to these camps though, you can't just be like antisocial. You gotta actually go mingle with people, go talk to the guy who runs the camp, go talk to a guy that looks like he's got a clipboard, and just have whole conversations with people. You never know who knows who, and who can hook you up, and who likes your game. So and that comes down to networking. So to find an agent, you gotta network. Period, point blank. There ain't no other way of doing it if you don't have one now. Just networking. And those are the only two ways I can give from my perspective of ways to find an agent. But definitely, Chris, thank you for the question. Hopefully your question was answered. And anybody have any more questions, get back to me, but I'm out. Peace.